whatever.
Hi, everybody.
Hi, everybody. It's MaryAnn and Joe, and I know this is a design channel, but I just wanted to share with you and what I'm doing today and what I was doing, and I'm making a few more. So I just wanted to show you some of the Christmas cookies that we make. This was our more of an American Italian tradition, because when my mother, growing up, my mother used to make those ribbons and a lot of the different kinds of cookies. These are kind of more of Americanized cookies.
That's a sample of them. She made a ton.
Oh my, yeah. No, I put them in this tray because otherwise I have these big cartons and we have to keep going in. So this one, I just want to show you. I made this a little bit more healthy. This is a regular chocolate chip cookies, but I put chocolate chip and I put vanilla cookies in here. And I also did oatmeal, vanilla chips. But I grind up oatmeals in a food processor, and I use that also. So if you guys want the recipe later on, I'll get it for you. These are the Snowball pecan cookies. Sometimes they call Mexican wedding cookies. I'm not sure.
Those are really, really, really
right.
Good.
These I think are my absolute favorite. These are walnut tarts. The crust is made with cream cheese and butter and flour, and the inside is eggs, nuts, brown sugar, and vanilla. So I absolutely love those. Now these are, I think somebody said these were called iceberg cookie. I call it Robbie's cookies because one day when we were, getting together, Robbie's had this recipe. So you actually roll it out. It's basically a butter cookie. When I open the tin, you get that smell of butter. But this one is, I did white with the outside, red sprinkles and pecans. This one now is nuts, and I actually then went around the outside with nuts. I don't know if you can see that. Still pecans. Then green, just green plain, because some people don't like nuts. Then I did the white, the green with the pecans. And then I did just pink. I guess this is supposed to be red, but I didn't want to put that much food coloring. So it's the same recipe. I just kind of did the outside a little bit. One of them I tried to do like regular white sugar, but it didn't work out well. So, it didn't look like anything. These are absolutely delicious. These are the type of cookies it doesn't look as great. Because actually I used to do the Spritz cookies, but we lost 2 of the cookie presses, once in a flood and then once in Hurricane Sandy. So I haven't been able to get that. But I actually do like these. And I want to make the ricotta cookies. My mother used to make the anisette cookies with the white, with the sprinkle. And the other ones, as I was saying to you, she used to make, which I don't know if I'm going to do, the strufoli, and those, I guess she used to have that pinwheel, and it was like the pieces of dough and you fried them up. So this
we used to call them rosette. You know what it is?
No, we didn't call them rosettes.
I know, I'm saying
Joe's family, we call them bows, and Joe's family, like the different Italians, even from different parts. You know what's so crazy about this? And I can say this because I know this person doesn't watch the videos. The person who gave me this recipe, she still makes them and actually gives us cookies, but her recipe is not the same. It's the same recipe, but it comes out different, so I don't understand. And we have cousins that make it, and their recipe is slightly different as well. My sister would make
pecans.
it. No, but they have a different taste.
Yeah.
Like our good friend / family who gave me the recipe, she makes these cookies and they taste completely different. So I don't know if it's the amount of flour you put in, whatever you do. Everybody has a little bit of a different way of making things. Her mother-in-law Anne was absolutely the best, and my mothers were the same. But I'm like a little anal. If people want these recipes, I can show it later. It's just that, as I was saying to a few people, they were asking, sometimes I make these in the middle of the night. Like this, the other night I was making at 2 o'clock in the morning. So Joe was snoozing on the couch, so there was no way. So
and the problem this year is since nobody's coming,
so
and MaryAnn is making, I keep telling her to stop because it's too much, and then they call me, to come.
And you know what? And I always like a different variety, so I am going to give some of these cookies to some family and friends. But I always like a different variety, and a lot of people, and I know this sounds terrible, and I'm sorry, a lot of people like the cookie, the swap things with the cookies, but I always. It's terrible to say, I like mine better. I guess it's because you get used to the way you make things the way you like. So I'm sure that, except, I don't know, I'm sure she doesn't watch this, but Charlie's, why can't I think of her first name, Charlie's wife? Oh my God.
Lori?
Yeah, oh my God. She's the absolute best. Oh, her cookies are absolutely fabulous.
But can I just say too, like
Love them.
MaryAnn will make the chocolate chip cookies for me harder because
Yeah.
that's how I like them.
Yeah,
and a
so
lot of
these are
people like them really soft, and that's the way I
chewy.
don't like them.
Right. So it's
you know,
true. You kind of make things the way you like. You know what? Like when I make this, I like mine a golden brown. Some people like it not as cooked. And even like when I make
Those
the
are
cookies,
really good. Those are really like
and even
moist.
it's so funny. Even when I make the cookies and I have the air bake sheet, but then I did these on a different sheet because I like them a little bit darker on the bottom, and the air bake doesn't do it as much on the bottom. So you'll see, like the ones I saved from here are a little bit darker. So anyway, I just wanted to share that with you. This is just, because I said to Joe, we kept going in and back and get the tins. So I said to him, listen, let me just make a dish. My mother, when we used to bake cookies, we used to have the lasagna trays, would make, no exaggeration, 4 or 5 lasagna trays. And this is what she would give out to, when we went just to give out, this is Christmas, sharing, here's some cookies, and sometimes even higher. That's how much she used to give out. So anyway, so I was telling Joe I was doing that, and then he said, what are you doing? So I just want to, and I know this is late, but for people who want to have a nice Christmas meal, and if you don't do it this Christmas, you can make it for Easter. I'm going to make the homemade Manicotti with homemade shells, and I will share the recipe with you. Should I cut this off and do this? I just want to share.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
Okay, I don't know if
I just wanted to say because, some people, if you don't understand, because some people call it manicotti, and that's, I guess, an American way of saying it, but that's what she's going to make, the homemade shells and the whole
so
deal
this
there.
is just going to be the shell, and I'll show you how to, just the outside shell. And you know what's so funny? So it's, what I'm laughing about this was the first year, not the first year.
Can I interrupt you
married.
1 second?
Yep.
You have all powdered sugar all over yourself.
I'm sorry. I know. I said to somebody, when you're baking, I'm a big mess.
I just didn't want you to tell me later.
I'm sorry.
But I didn't tell you.
Because I was sifting the flour. I was laughing because I see people and they're all duded up. And the other day I had a scarf on. There's no way. So, and usually, sometimes I'll try to put like a tank top, and I do sometimes try to use the what do you call that? The apron. But I'm always, and I have to pull up my sleeves, and I can't have any jewelry because all the stuff gets in because I sifted the flour. So I just kind of want to show you. This is all-purpose flour, but again, it's not those nuggets, but I put them in this container. And then what I do is I label it so I know the date that it's from. So that's always like a good thing. I saw, you know what's so crazy? I see people and they have these canisters and they have it, and then and they say it's a great way to organize their pantry. But how do you know when it's to the end? And you don't know, so I know when this is finished, I have another container and I fill it. And this way I know that my ingredients are fresh and that my stuff is fresh and it's airtight. So I really like that. Usually, I will tell you the truth, but since this is all just eggs in here, I usually crack the egg separate because you get a bad egg, but I didn't put anything else in here, so it's okay. So this is 6 eggs, right? This should make about 24 shells, okay? So I'm just going to show you. I don't know if you want to see this. I don't know if it gets, so it's, well, let me tell you about it anyway. So it's 6 eggs, and then I'm going to beat them up, whisk them up. And I'm sorry, I told you, I know I am a mess when I make things. So you want to mix this. And this makes a very, very light, almost like a crepey Manicotti shell. And well, what I was trying to say before was the year we were having Christmas, I'm making the shells that morning of Christmas and people are stopping in. That was a little bit crazy. So a lot of times, my mother used to use all milk. I just kind of combine it, so I'm going to use, this is filtered water, so 1/2 a cup. It's going to be 1.5 cups, but I kind of mix it because it'll just make it a little bit richer. And then I'll do a little bit of this. So I'm kind of just doing half milk and half water.
So 1/2 cup of water, 1/2 cup of milk, and then half and half of that.
1.5 cups of milk or water. Okay, whatever you choose to do there. And look at this, ooh, you don't want to do that, but look at me. I used to remember when my grandmother, shows you how poor she was, when I used to make a cake, she used to do this, go through the eggshells and try to get the rest out. And I don't know, it always makes me think of her when I do it, and I do it too. See, you just get a little bit, don't want to waste anything. I know it's crazy, right? Sorry. But I would be doing it, so if you want to see what I really do, that's really what I do. Okay, and then, so now this is 1.5 cups of flour and just a pinch of salt. So I'm going to mix this, and then what you're going to do is I'm going to mix the flour in. And this is going to make your batter, which is going to make the crepes or the Manicotti shells. But as I was saying, I was making it that morning. I don't even know, was it 11 o'clock, Joe? I did the sifter just because I always want to make sure everything is out.
It's 11 o'clock and we have 22 people coming.
Yeah, that was when the family was still very big. And my mother would always make this a day or two before. So today's December 23rd. So, see, I kind of never like to make it so much in advance, but this is only 2 days in advance. So it's okay. And it'll stay a couple days. I wouldn't make it more than three or 4 days. And for me, I'm sure people do, but I don't like to. And you have to keep kind of whisking to get the little balls out of there. So I'll keep doing that as it goes through. And that was a pinch of salt in there too. So I don't even know if, and you can actually, if you wanted to, so that was 6 eggs. If you did 4 eggs, you can just cut it down. We used to make double this, sometimes triple, depending on how many people. But again, this time it's only going to be 3 of us because we're following the guidelines. I know some people don't like it, and I am going to send over a tray.
Well, you know what happened to, for us, I guess for a lot of people, but especially, for Italians, I know we have the antipasto in the beginning, and that's way too much. And then we have the pasta in the middle, and then at the end, we're going to have a turkey or prime rib or something like that. So we kind of cut it down to two each. That was that was too much.
And my mother, when she used to do it, so we used to always have the antipasto, and then the celery, the olives, all of that. Then she would make the either lasagna, the Manicotti, stuffed shells, but then she would also do meatballs, sausage, spare ribs. And I used to say, Ma, we're going to have the other stuff. And she said, but this person, if she knew somebody, Mike likes spare ribs, or this person likes, so she would always try to do, so kind of everybody had something. But see, this is going to make a lot. I actually probably should have, it's all right. If we have extra, we have extra. Okay, so you're seeing, and now I'm going to let this stay. There were times where we used to have so much filling, then I would say, I kind of got it down now. I mean, I used to have, now you're seeing why I have all the flour on me. I used to have, if I had too much filling, I'd have to go back and make some more of this mixture to make more Manicotti shells. Or if I had too many Manicotti shells, I had to make more of the mixture. So it kind of, see, now you're seeing it's all kind of, and I'm just going to let this stay for about an hour or so in the refrigerator, just so it kind of takes in the absorption. And
Incorporates together.
Incorporates together. I mean, if you're short on time and your company's coming in an hour, then you don't have that luxury. So, okay, so that's pretty good. You see all the lumps are out? Okay. So that'll give me time. So I'll put this in the refrigerator.
You going to cover it, MaryAnn?
Yes, yep, I have a cover. I'm going to put it in the refrigerator. Joe's probably going to go for his walk. I'll clean this up a little bit. I won't do that. I was going to put the thing in. So that's how easy that shell is. So just bit my tongue. Just to reiterate, it's 1.5 cups of flour, all-purpose flour, 6 eggs, 1.5 cups of milk or 1.5 cups of water, and just a little pinch of salt, but I put the pinch of salt into the flour so that when it mixes. We're going to let it stay for about an hour, and then when you come back, I'm going to make the shells, and I'll show you how I do that.
Okay, sign off for now.
Yep, sign off for now, and if you can let Joe know if you want the recipe for the cookies later. I guess I should have, maybe next year I'm going to make them early, but we try not to eat them all year long, and then I end up, if I make them too much in advance. So here's the deal. I'm giving you the recipe this year for next year. Or this recipe you can use for Easter. Or how about this? How about make this for New Year's? A great blessings for a happy and healthy New Year for all, you know, God willing. Okay, so gonna see you later.
All right, be right back. Oh, we're back, MaryAnn.
Hi, so I just started. Probably making a mess here. So making my little crepes, Manicotti Shells. You'll see I have these pans, they're Tefal. I absolutely love Tefal. I fell in love with them. I only use these pans for this. So actually I'm using a 1/4 teaspoon. I take the mixture. I just kind of mix a 1/4 cup, sorry. So I push it in, and I'm doing 2 because, as I said, I have the 2 pans. So I just kind of swirl it around. The bottom of the pan is 5, but this is 7-inch pan. So I'm not sure what you call this pan. So I mean, if I waited long enough, it'll actually just come out. There are people who put grease. I have it on medium heat. I don't use, they oil it. This will come out. I'll show you. Give it a minute to cook. And it'll come out. And then every once in a while, I just kind of mix this up. And sometimes you'll see little lumps of flour still in there, but it doesn't matter. It'll come out. Okay? So you're going to see, watch. Actually, that would just slid right off. Love these pans. And this is, it gets a little brown, but you can make it to your, it depends on how high the temperature is. So if I see it like this, I'll just take it and then flip it, you know. So as I said to you before, when I was making it, that's good. I'm going to take that one off. So I usually have one going because, as I said, there's times where company's coming and I'm still, and we're still getting ready.
It looks like a pancake, but it's
like a
nowhere
crepe.
near it. Yeah.
It's like it's a crepe.
It's very light.
So you can go through. So, and then if you see it like this, like see how this is here, if you just get a little bit more and just put it on, that one's going to be cooking. Sometimes they come a little thicker, thinner. Sorry, can you see that, Joe? Mm-hmm. And let me get this one going. Oops, did I get some on the floor? You do make a mess cooking. A lot of people have kitchens and they're not cooking kitchens. Oops, there you go, one flew. Oh, that was the spatula. I'll pick, what do you call that, the whisk. Don't need it anymore, so it's okay. I'll pick it up after. So again, you see where it's a little bit wet, and it'll dry out. That's the outside. And then what I do is I actually start to pile these, but I let them cool a little bit. Sometimes I just put them in a plate, but I had this out, and then I'll just, so they're nice, right? And they're very, see how that just slid right off? So sometimes I use the spatula to help it. This one's a little thicker. See, this one's sticking a little bit. So it's not ready to go. And I keep going. Sometimes I don't even put it in the refrigerator. I mean, this time, Joe, you know I put it in the refrigerator, but as I said to you before, whoops, sometimes we're making them and company's on its way. One year, the first year we had Christmas, we bought 8 servings for 8 people. What do you call that? Dishes.
Service for 8, but we bought 4 sets.
No, 3 sets. We bought 24. So we bought 3 sets. But so I was getting everything ready for Christmas, and I was trying to. That was the first Christmas I think we were having like everybody. I think there were 22 people or 23 because we needed the 24. And I was taking the plates out. We were washing them as people were coming, because we had my wedding set, but I didn't have enough for 20, servings for 20, place settings for 24. I only had place settings for, I think, 12. So anyway, unfortunately now we're down to very few, but we still have setting for 28.
24.
So, 24. Oh, by the way, we were laughing because I was saying DIY. What is it? DIY is correct. Or
DYI.
DYI, and I'm saying DIY, like DWI. So can't go by me. I think I'm a little dyslexic. I don't know what happened. Maybe I'm just camera shy. So again, see, this one's a little darker, and then what I'll do is I'll start piling them up after, and I'll put them in a plate, and I'll cover them with saran wrap. See, so while this one is getting ready, this one is done. So he goes out, and another one comes in. And you see that? I'm going to have some stuff left on that little thing, and I'll probably use it. You just have to get your temperature of your what you're cooking on. And then see, this one's ready. So he's going, see, you see a little bit of flour still in there, but it's fine. And there you go. Perfect. So, I mean, you can stay and talk to me if you want, but it's up to you. Oh, and you didn't show the Pizzellis. I wanted to show my good friend Rosie and her daughter Ro made us Italian Pizzelli. And we were laughing. She sent me something for when I told her 2020 stunk. So you have to get that out too, Joe. So I'm going to keep making it. This will be making as we keep talking.
You want to keep talking? You want me to come back when you're done with them? It's up to
you. You guys want to stay around? I mean, you're welcome. You know what? Well, I guess we'll come back because I'm going to be doing the same thing. So again, it's a swirl. And if you only have the one pan, it will probably make it easier. You'll focus on the one pan and not be worried about the two. And by the way, I owe these to our best man, Mike. I've been promising to make. Remember, he was calling me Mrs. Manicotti?
Mm-hmm.
Mrs. Manicotti from the
Honeymooners.
The Honeymooners. When my wife, she go like this, she knock all the dishes off the table. Who remembers that? How much do I love the Honeymooners? Anyway. Okay, so we're going to keep going. What's crazy and what was hard, and I should show you how this recipe came. My mother, by the way, I did find the recipe that she had written on the back of an envelope. The problem with the Italians is nothing was ever measured. She would say, put it in. If it's a little too thin, add a little flour. If it's a little too thick, add, or add a little bit more water, that kind of stuff. So that was very, very hard. Like there was no recipe. But as I said to you before, what's crazy, and I think this happens more than people want to say, everybody, I guess it's the way maybe you level it off if you're not weighing your flour. Like, are you packing? One time, remember when I made those chocolate chip cookies, and my friend was over, and I sent him the chocolate chip cookies to take some home. So his mother called me the next day and she said, MaryAnn, can I have the recipe for the chocolate chip cookies? So I said, oh sure, it's the recipe, the Toll House recipe. So she said, oh okay, if you want to be like that. And I said, it's the Toll House recipe. So she said, I use the Toll House recipe, and those cookies were not from like the Toll House recipe. And you want to know the truth? I think those cookies that day came out really, really, really good. And I don't know if it was that I left the butter out. I don't know if it was what the type of butter I bought, the type of flour. They were absolutely wonderful. But I will tell you, one of the things that you should do when you're baking is try to always remember, like I have butter out here. I have butter that I left out because it's got to be at room temperature. And it's still hard. You can see it's still hard. But that butter's been out all day because you need it at room temperature. And the other thing is you want your eggs at room temperature. When the eggs are at room temperature, they seem to incorporate better, So try to keep your baking ingredients. The only thing is you have to, like, I'll say, oh, I feel like baking, and then I have to have it at room temperature, and then I change my mind or something, and you're kind of forced to do it because you have it laying out. But so the ingredients at room temperature. So this goes fast once you got your system going, right? Not too bad. But I guess you'll come back then, right? Ciao, Italia.
You're back.
Hi. So that didn't take long. I don't even know how long we were gone. But now what I'm doing is I'm transferring to a plate, and my mother used to flatten one on top of the other. But this way it just makes it easier for us to pull. Like when I'm not pull, to pick it up when I'm making it. So this is 4. Let's see how many. It should make 25, 24, but I'm not sure. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Have a habit of always counting. 6, These are very light, by the way. 7. It's going to really snow. 8. You know why, Joe?
Yep, because you're done early.
9. Little burnt there. Not burnt. 10. Perfect. 11. Is that 11? 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 12. Okay, I'm going to put that guy there. 12. 13. And I didn't use any oil at all to cook these. I love those pans. What did I just say that was? 13?
13.
13. That's how I screwed up on that thing. 13, 14, because I talk. 14. Maybe not. 14. 15. 16. 16. 17. If you make them a little thicker, 17. 18. 18. 19. 20. 20.
Okay, Google.
21.
Stop.
You shouldn't have did that. 21. 22. 22. 23. 24. 25. I guess some of them were a little thin. Oh, I know why. 25. 26. So I made 26. I'm going to put saran wrap around here, right? It's actually supposed to only make 24, but as I said to you before, it depends on how you measure your flour. It depends on how you measure your flour. It depends on the size of the egg. So this one made 26. So you actually get two extra. So that's going to be good. Somebody's going to get extra. So 26, and then this is not going to cover the whole thing. So I'm going to put. I never usually have to do this because guess what? As soon as I'm making it, I'm filling them up. But I'm going to put another piece because I don't want that to get.
Do you want to tell them what you do? Because this is only going to be part one
Right,
of the...
and again, I said, I guess I should have tried to do this before the holidays, but I'm making it for Christmas, so what, now the filling is like what you would maybe use for lasagna, whatever you choose to do, but for this amount, I'm going to use 2 pounds of ricotta cheese, whole, I use whole, but you can use the part skim, 2 eggs, 2 cups of the mozzarella cheese,
Shredded.
the shredded, 2 cups of that, a cup of Parmesan or Pecorino Romano, just 1 cup of that, salt, pepper, and parsley to taste, and then I'm going to mix that, and then I'm going to take some, and I'll lay it in, and I'll show you when I do it, so just to recoup, so if you want to see that again, what you would need if you wanted to make that.
Yeah, can I just interrupt? Because what's going to happen is she's not going to do that till Christmas morning. So that's going to be another video.
This afternoon, no, yeah.
That's going to be another video. So she wanted to show you how she made the shell for it, but the inside you won't see until another video.
Right, but again, if you want to try, but that's why I said to you, put it on your list to do for Christmas Eve and these are ingredients you have in your house because most people have eggs and flour, and milk. Right? Milk and water, so that was all it was. So again, you can make these shells, you can cut it in half, make the recipe in half. If you make it, you can just keep them, cook some, or cook it and then, have it for another meal. So again, when I guess what you're going to roll it in, what you're going to put inside it. So again, 2 pounds of the ricotta, 2 eggs, I use extra large, but 2 eggs, 2 cups of shredded cheese. Sometimes I do shredded mozzarella, or sometimes I do the 4 cheese that has those packages. A cup of the Romano or Parmesan, whatever you want to use there, and then salt, pepper, and parsley to taste. And then whatever your gravy or your tomato sauce or your pasta sauce that you want to do, and you bake it in the oven. But we'll be back Christmas Day if you want to see that, and if you need it before that, you're gonna have to.
Not happening.
Yeah, no, I know. Sorry about that. But I wanted to show you also, look how cute, my girlfriend's Rosie and Rosemary and her daughter Ro. So they sent us this, and what she does for the holidays, I already ate, and she has a little sticker there. She makes the Italian pizzelles, And there with, just notice I ate a few. That's where the powder, that's where the flour was probably from, right? Absolutely delicious.
Those have anisette in them if
Yeah,
you've
these
never
are
had this
anisette.
before.
You could do it with vanilla, you can do it with anisette. I have my own, it was funny, I was showing her the recipe from, I think that machine is from, I don't know, 50, 60 years ago. So she just got new ones, but she sent us this, she brought it over, and
She dropped it off outside.
She dropped it off outside. And she also, because remember when I said stink, stank, stunk, you know, from with a little toilet paper and let it, you know, let it go.
Yeah, MaryAnn said 2020, our motto is
For 2020, it's stink,
Stank.
stank, stunk. But you know what? God, we have to take every day that God gives us and hope for the best. So anyway, I wanted to share that. I'm sure Rosie's watching it. We love you, Rosie and Little Ro. Little Ro is not, well, Little Ro is my Little Ro. Anyway, so this was from Rosie. This is the Manigottis. I actually do want to make strufelies, but I'm going to see how that goes. Because my videographer is getting tired. So anyway, I will put all these together. You know, I'm going to make this one day all together, or maybe you can cut and splice it and see. This is a great recipe, and people love it. It's light because again, it's pasta. Because Italians always do pasta on the holidays, so it's a pasta dish, but it's not a heavy pasta dish, so you can still eat other things. Okay? And I hope you like it and enjoy. That looks so pretty, right? That's it.
That's it.
Oh,
Ciao.
Ciao for now. Ciao
Okay.
For now.
We'll see you soon.
Bye,
Take care. Don't
everybody.
forget,
Thanks for-
subscribe,
yes,
thumbs up,
and thanks
comment.
for stopping by.
All right, we'll see you soon.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.